Let me know when you're ready, Ed.
I'm ready.
You're ready? All right. And so now I'm going to draw a blank on how to start. Well, first, I want to welcome everyone who's here in the room. I want to welcome everyone who is watching as we live stream this on YouTube, and also anyone who is watching it later on when this will be posted on our website. So we are recording this tutorial as well, so that at a future time when you're working on your statistical reports, if you need to go back and watch it for some reason, you'll be able to go back in and watch it. So I want to thank everyone who is joining us today, either physically or virtually. We're glad to have you here. For those who don't know who I am Trish Tedrow. I'm the stated clerk for Mission Presbytery. This tutorial is on the 2018 statistical report. It is stat season. The season opened technically yesterday, so that you're able to go in and work on the statistical report. It will be open until February 1st. And you'll be getting reminders from me on those dates. So you have between now and February 1st to do your statistical reports for 2018. And then after February 1st, there's I have about a 2-week window where I can go in and make changes or add stuff in as well for you. So without further ado, let's get started with this tutorial on our changes to the statistical report. So first thing is that you can go to the website. We will have it on our website. You'll go to the Mission Presbytery website, click on the tab that says Committees, and you'll see one that says Clerks of Session. And if you go to that page, you'll be able to access the statistical reports. We will have the link there for you, or you can also type it in. You can see the whole address there. That's why I say wait and go to the link. It's a lot easier to do that. But we will have that up and available for you to be able to go and do that. When you go and you do that, if for some reason it's not working, let us know in the office. It simply means that the link somehow is broken, and we can fix that very easily for you. There's several changes that happened this year to the statistical report. The biggest one, I think, and don't panic about this, is there is no workbook anymore. So you used to be able to go and get this kind of multi-page workbook that would help you with all the definitions and everything like that. That workbook no longer exists. One reason for that is all of the definitions you need are now embedded in the report itself. So, and you'll see that as we move along how that's going to look. There is a PDF that also we will have up on our website for you that gives those definitions. So if you have folks who are helping you to pull together the information and you need to get that to them, you'll be able to do that. Or if you just kind of want to still have something that feels like that workbook in your hands, there is that. Another one, I think this is a great one, and supposedly it will work, and I hope it does, is when you submit your report, if you had an error in it, you now can go back and change it yourself. You don't have to contact me. As long as you're in that open window season, you're able to go in and make the changes that you need to make. So that is a really, really great change, I think, for everybody. You will now have the ability to change your beginning membership numbers. A lot of times I'll get phone calls that says, this was our membership at the end of, in this case it would be the end of 2017, but that wasn't right. You now will have the ability to put in a new beginning membership number if you need to, and make those corrections as well. Some of the changes to the definitions have been made. So some of them I think have been clarified so that it's better to understand what they're asking you for. And there have also been some changes to how the financials are reported. So the financials, it's not quite as detailed as it used to be in terms of what they want. So we're going to look at each one of these things in this time together. For those who are here in the room, if you have questions as we're going along, just raise your hand and I'll answer your question for you. And then we'll have time at the end if there's any other questions you have. So the first change, here we go, we're going to take a look. Like I said, there's no workbook. When this was announced to the stated clerks at our meeting, the panic in the room shot up. It was like, what? No workbook. There's no workbook. As I said, there will be a PDF available, but otherwise, all those definitions are actually in the report for you now. When you go in, you'll go in just like you would before. You have your user ID and your password that you use. If you can't find them, or for some reason, or you're having problems with it, contact either Melody or myself at the office. We can get you what the correct password is. But you'll go in, you'll, like you normally do, to your page. And then this is the first screen that you'll see. As you see, it will show, and normally it's going to have the name of the church and the addresses and all that information there. Over here you'll see where it has edit. So if there's something that's incorrect, if you've changed your website address for some reason or something else has changed, you're able to fix that on this page. So this is the first page that you'll see. And then if you go and you click on where it says clerk, it's going to do the same thing. It should have your name as the clerk of session, and then again, contact information. You can review it, you can change whatever needs to be changed on that. And then we go to the statistics themselves. When you go to those, first you'll see a page of information that's or instructions that's going to have some stuff for you. Here on the side where it shows tasks is where the stuff is listed. So you're on the instruction page here, membership stats, that's where you're going to click and go in to take care of the stuff for membership, congregational life, racial, ethnic stats, and financial stats. So they're all here on the side as you're doing those. So we'll hop to membership stats. And this is again, so you'll see here's that information, the definitions that I told you. So it gives you the information that you need here. It will show you what that beginning membership was that they had. And like I said, if you need to change it for some reason, if that's not correct, you can type in a new starting membership and it will do that for you. And that means as you're putting in the other numbers, you're not trying to figure out how to finagle to get to where you need it to be.
You don't have to say other.
You don't have to use other anymore. You can use other for real other things rather than yes, exactly. So it's really a nice, one of the nice changes that they've made. You scroll further down the screen and you'll see again your gains and your losses. And again, it shows you the definitions next to them on what they mean. So for example, youth professions of faith. So you would put in the number of people aged 17 or younger that were received through profession of faith, confirmation, and that in that one there. And then you have your certificate gains, which is certificate of transfer, and then others who are received for the first time who are over 18. So that's some of the differences that have been made. And like I said, you can see the definitions there. And the same thing for your losses that they have here. And then when you scroll a little further down, this is new as well. This ending active membership does not automatically calculate. Yeah, It used to automatically calculate for you. It doesn't do that. You'll have to put it in yourself and make sure everything matches. The good thing is that you can't save the page unless that matches. So it's going to tell you if it doesn't, but it doesn't automatically calculate those numbers for you anymore. Once you're done with the page, you can, of course, hit accept. Or, again, supposedly, and I hope it works for them right, even if you don't hit accept, the way it's set up now, it automatically saves any changes you've made for you so that they're there. But a lot of people like that feeling of hitting that accept button and knowing that everything's set. So that's the membership stats that are now asked for. Does anyone have any questions on this so far? Like I said, I think what they've done is made it really nice. So then you would go to congregational life. And again, you can see kind of what they've done here. I love the definitions they're now giving for baptism, because sometimes that was confusing for folks on what we meant by baptized. So you can see that it has those for infants and children presented for baptism by parents or others. Those who maybe were baptized when they were confirmed. Other would be, of course, adult baptisms that you might have there. Worship attendance, friends of the congregation. This is a number that we really, really would love for you to fill out if you can. This is, of course, those folks who aren't members, but who participate in the life and the worship of the congregation, who are very active, but they haven't actually joined. We are really interested in seeing what this number is for us now. Number of ruling elders on the session, you no longer have to break these down by gender. They've done away with that, so we no longer do that. You'll just put in the number of ruling elders you actually have on your session, and that's all you'll have to do for that page. The next one is the disability and racial composition. And again, they've given definitions next to each one, what they're referring to in terms of disabilities. Disabilities, they really mean those disabilities that substantially limit a person's participation. You don't have to try to figure out how many people in your congregation are wearing glasses. That's not what they mean by sight impairment. And they say it again in this, is that you're not expected to go to every member of your congregation and find out whether or not they have a disability. Just go with kind of what you know for these numbers on that one. For the racial ethnic composition, again, you can see where it has given definitions, clarification on those, so that you can kind of try to figure out who maybe fits where in these boxes. We know this is not comprehensive. I don't even want to think how long the list would be if we tried to make it completely comprehensive. But it gives you an idea as you're working on that, on how to, where folks can land for that one. And then we move to financial. And this is one I think y'all are really going to love, this one. Whole dollars only. You don't have to try and figure out the exact amount. Whole dollars only. Annual income includes anything you get that's come in for the year. So that's gifts from donors, that's your pledges from your folks, any rents you get, any special offerings, anything, including capital campaigns, anything. Your annual income is what you're going to put in there. The same thing on this one, annual expenses, all of the expenses. You're not having to figure out this amount was for this amount was for that. The whole total goes here, also including your special offerings, contributions that you give to the presbytery, the synod, or general assembly, all of it. So your total income, your total expenses. You don't have to worry about trying to break things out anymore like you used to.
That's a blessing.
Isn't that? I love this one. And then for mission, it gives you the definition on what they're looking for what you might have given in mission. That is mission-related activities at a local or national level, ecumenical, or mission causes not related to the PCUSA. So this no longer includes special offerings in mission. This would not include what you give to for support, again, to the presbytery or synod. It's just what you spend on other mission projects.
Or like a food bank.
Food, yes, local food. This would be things like your local food banks, other activities like that you might give to. If you give to support, say, Habitat for Humanity, that would fall under the mission.
But none of your benevolence is to third
Right.
presbytery.
Yes, none of your benevolence is to presbytery or the special offering. This would, Ed, brace yourself, Ed's in the back. This does not include what you might give to PDA, because that would be up here, because that's part of us. Or it would, though, include, I think, I'll double check on this, I think this might include, like, if you were to give to Presbyterian Children's Home or Pan American School, I think that would still fall under the mission one. Because while they are kind of a part of us, they're not that big.
What about the women's offerings?
The women's offerings, again, would not be, the women's offerings would not be included in the mission one. That
They
would
would
be,
or would not?
They would not.
Okay.
Yeah, on that one. And then personnel. So the total of all expenditures for staff, all staff. So your ordained and non-ordained staff. Instead of trying to break that out, it's just a total amount that you would put in here. And again, it gives you the definitions on what is included.
Would that include pulpit supply also?
I don't know. I'll
we,
find out.
We have a
That's-
minister.
Right. I don't think it would include pulpit supply. This would be, personnel would be, those people who you have hired to be on, or who are there on a regular basis. So it would include stated supply, folks, but your occasional pulpit supply, no, I don't think that's included here.
We have a minister who is serving another congregation
Right.
south of us
Right.
one Sunday a month. So
Mhm.
pulpit supply to replace her absence would not be
No,
included.
no, you would not include that under personnel.
Okay.
Yes, that's right. Other questions on the financials that you might have? As you can see, I think this does make it a lot easier for you all to be able to get the information you need and hunt that down. And then the last one it had on there was facilities. Again, your total amount that you spent on facilities. So again, that's your insurance, utilities, any payments that you might be making.
New air conditioner.
New air conditioner, yes, anything like that on your properties. So this should, the way most of us, I think, get our expense reports in churches, I think fits very well with these categories. You're going to be able to pull that information together a lot easier than before in that. So any questions so far on how the forms look, the form?
So all these subsets will go back, are still part of that one big expense.
Yes, all of the, yes, so all of these are subsets of that total annual expense that you have. But again, you don't have to worry about things totaling up at the end, end or anything like that anymore, either with it. And then again, after each one, you can hit the accept button and it's there. And like I said, you're supposed to this year be able to go in and make any changes that you may need to make. So, if you do what I do occasionally and transpose numbers, you're able to go in and make those changes. You should be able to make them yourself. If you can't for some reason, contact me because I can go in and do that for you. The last one that we have on here is what's called the supplemental questions. And these are not required as part of the statistical report. So these are optional for you to answer if you would like to. And you can see here's a couple of the ones that are now on the supplemental report. So youth participants in your congregation, you could put those numbers in. If you have any elders or deacons who are 25 or younger, you can put that number in. And then there's a couple of other questions as well on this page. But this is a supplemental question page, and you can choose to fill that one out if you'd like to or not. Of course, we would like for you to, but it's completely up to you.
That doesn't include the children's sermon. That's separate. I mean, or would that can be considered?
Children's sermon in terms of
Kids that come down for a children's sermon.
I don't think there's anything on there for that. I don't think that they ask for that kind of average worship attendance that you have, but it doesn't break it out in terms of how many. I don't think how many youth you have in worship or how many, or anything like that at all. Other questions on it so far? So that's kind of how easy it is now. You just, they've really streamlined it. They've kind of broadened some of the categories. They've gotten rid of some of the things that they had that was data that nobody was using.
And cross-referencing of racial with every other group.
Exactly. Yes. All that
Nightmare.
all of that is no longer there for you. You don't have to worry about trying to figure all of that out anymore, just because it was hard.
The male racial and the female
Yes.
racial.
Yes. A lot of those are just, it is good. Yes, I've done these enough to know how how it was, and like I said, that's why I really do like the changes they've made. I think it makes it a lot easier. So a couple of the kind of frequently asked questions that we get. Again, where do I find my user ID and password? You can contact either Melody or myself at the office, Presbytery office, and we can get you that information. If you need your user ID or password, don't contact General Assembly, because they'll tell you to contact the Presbytery. So come to me. We can get that to you. Do I have to enter everything at one time? And the answer to that is no. At one point you did. You had to enter everything at the same time, and then you would hit that accept button, and it would be sent. When you hit that button at the bottom of those pages, it's going to save the data that's on that page. But then you can go back in and enter the data for the other ones at another time.
You can go back and change that even after you accept, right?
Yes, you're supposed to be able to. I don't know if anyone's actually completed it yet and tested that to see if it works, but you're supposed to be able to do that. And that's the thing again. How do I make a mistake? I've made a mistake. How do I correct it? Again, until February 1st, you should be able to make those changes yourself. After February 1st, you'll need to contact me at the Presbytery office. I can, again, I have about a 2-week window that I can go in and make changes to the report after it's closed for you all. So you will do that for me, with me. When I log in, there's no tab labeled statistics. Sometimes this happens, and what that means is it's probably the browser that you're using. So when you go online, when you go to the web, you're using a browser, Safari, Google, Explorer, Firefox, whichever one it is that you're using. That might be what the problem is. So the first thing they recommend is that you try to open it in another browser and see if that will work for you. If that doesn't work, then you'll need to contact the Office of General Assembly. I can't help with that part. That's a technical glitch on their end that you'll have to work with them on that. Boy. How do I print my report? So that's one thing that you may need to do or want to do with your folks. On that very first page, where it lists, you know, the church name and all that, you'll see this thing here. It says Church Report PDF. If you click on that, it's going to create a copy of your report as a PDF that you'll be able to save on your computers. You'll be able to, if you email stuff to your session members, you can email it to them that way, or you'll be able to print it out. This is the easy way to do it, is to just go and click on that little button that says PDF. There is a more involved way to do it as well if you'd like to do that. And that is, you'll go in to that church statistics page. On the side under tasks, you'll see church report. You can click on that. It's going to ask you what year you want. You can pull up what year you want. Then you have to, then there's ways again where you can create a PDF from this. So again, that first page is the one that's the easiest one to do. And if you have issues with this and you're like, I can't remember how to do this, or I'm not getting it quite to work for me, you can also contact me on that and I can help walk you through how to do that for you. Now, where do I find a copy of that workbook? There is no workbook. Again, as you saw, all those definitions are actually there in the report for you this time to look at. Again, if you want a copy of the PDF of the descriptions, check on our website. And if you're having any problems finding that or getting it for some reason, contact us at the office, because we can also just email you a copy of it as well. As I said, the link to go to the statistics page will also be up on the website under that Clerk of Session tab that we have for you all. I missed the deadline. This does happen. If you've missed the deadline, contact me. Again, I have about 2 weeks that I can submit information, and I'll work with you to get the information and get it submitted for you. So you can do that, and I promise I'll be kind, and fine chocolates are always appreciated, if necessary. Any questions that you all have about this, about the changes that are made? If you have questions later on, please feel free to contact me at the Presbytery office. I am in the office this next week, then I will be on vacation for 2 weeks, so I won't be available from the 14th of December through January 1st. But do feel free to contact me with any questions you have about the report, anything that if you're having problems with, you can contact me, and we will do our best to help you to get that done. I thank you for giving me a half hour of your time today to see this. Again, the video will be posted on our YouTube page for our for Mission Presbytery. Very easy way to get there is when you go to Mission Presbytery webpage, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and there's little links where you can connect to our Mission Presbytery YouTube page. Once you're there, if you click subscribe, then what happens is
once you hit subscribe, you'll be signed up, so you'll get messages and find out what's going on the YouTube page every time we do an update.
Right. So if you do that, then when other stuff is put up, you'll get notification for that. This is the first of some video tutorials that we're going to be doing for Clerks of Session. So as other ones are being created, they will pop up on that page, and you can get notification that they're there to go and look at as well. And I want to thank Ed, who's doing something not in his job description, in setting up the equipment to be able to live stream and record this for us. So I thank Ed for giving his time to help do this as well. And if there aren't any other questions, then I thank you for coming again, and I hope that you all have a very Merry Christmas. And don't worry about your stats until maybe January 2nd. Enjoy yourself.
Well, I have a question
Yes.
for just you and me, not.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thank you, Drew.
All right. Thank you. Thank you all very much. And we are done.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.